So before we left for our holiday break, we wrote another embedded assessment and we used the LeBron James ad for Beats headphones, and you were to write a paragraph to explain the techniques that were used in the ad. And in this video, we're going to go over an exemplar paragraph so that you compare your paragraph to the one in the video that I'll show you just here in a minute, and you can see things that you did and compare it to a perfect paragraph that would have perhaps got a perfect score. So as you know by now, we are using this paragraph format, and this is the same paragraph format that we've been using all year and the paragraph format that you will continue to use. So hopefully at this point in the year you have gotten a little better at using this, and hopefully you are still just working on perfecting it, especially in the area of commentary. But let's go ahead and take a look at the exemplar paragraph. So I've got it right here for you, and I just will give you a brief explanation of each sentence. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video now and read this paragraph to yourself. All right, let's start with the topic sentence. The topic sentence is an exemplar topic sentence because it used a number of words from the prompt. So one thing that I did, I identified what was being sold, and I told you that it used many different types of strategies. And obviously an ad for any product is hopefully going to persuade consumers or customers to buy the product. So I added that in. Now for a lot of you that wasn't necessarily in your prompt. However, just using your own general information, the background information that you have, you should know that the purpose of any ad is to get a consumer or you to buy something. So if you added this in your sentence, that was excellent. If you didn't, then you can go ahead and perhaps start thinking a little more deeply about prompts and what their purpose is. And then remember, all of my sentences that follow should have something to do with why these strategies are effective, why they help sell products. So let's look at the second sentence. So I have right here, I've got my transition word. I used to begin since it was my first one. And then I said that this ad uses the testimonial technique because it's featuring a very famous person, and I named him by name. So just to be more specific than saying a celebrity, I specifically named the celebrity. In my commentary, then you can see, I've got it right here, I'll kind of highlight it for you. In the commentary, you should be telling me why using a famous person, specifically LeBron James, will help sell the headphones. So the first thing I want you to do though is take a look at the commentary starter that I used. By examining the ad, the viewer can infer that. Now, if you look over at Mrs. Messner's wall and look for the orange commentary starters, you obviously will not see this as a commentary starter. At this point in the year, you can feel free to start building these and creating these on your own and making them a little bit different, making them work for you. So while this commentary starter is not on the wall, what we do have on the wall is we had something like this. The reader can infer that, well, this was an ad, so I decided to mix it up and use the viewer. It's the same thing as the reader. But you can see that I'm just starting to customize these to make them work for me a little better and to make them more specific to my purpose. And good writers at this time in the year can start to do that. If you're not ready for that, no big deal. All right, so why is using a celebrity important? Well, because many people admire and look up to celebrities and want the products they have. So simply right there, how is using a celebrity going to get someone to buy a pair of Beats headphones? Well, it's because many people admire celebrities and want what they have. All right, moving on. My next transition word was additionally. I can use this here because it is indicating that I already have something else and I want to add. I decided to use word choice, and that was on the list of alternate techniques that you had. And in this case, there were very few words on the ad, but I decided to go ahead and quote the ad. You deserve the best is not my words. I did not make these up, so I put them in quotation marks, and that's important. You can see my commentary here. With my commentary starter, this evidence lets the viewer understand that they are important, so that the viewer is important, and the product is made specifically for them, because it seems like the ad is speaking to them directly. When it says you, when they use this you right here, it makes you feel as though this ad was made for you, like the advertisers are speaking directly towards you and really personalizing this ad to meet your needs and your wishes and your desires. So I felt like that was pretty important. My next piece of evidence starts right here, and I decided to use the transition word also. I just said also present in this ad since it wasn't something that I read really. The reader can see that the avant-garde technique is being used. I felt like this technique was pretty clear. Right here, you can see that I did not use a typical commentary starter, like an easy one that you'll find on Mrs. Messner's wall. I customized it. I made it a little bit better, I thought. Evidence for this technique can be seen through, and then I've got here the simple colors and the fact that the reader has to infer what product is being sold, because the ad never told us what was actually being sold. You had to look at the ad and figure out what was going on. So this was my last piece of evidence and commentary. And then finally, I come to my concluding sentence, and I've got that right here. I decided to mix this up, and you can see how it's different from my topic sentence. I decided to not use the word beats until pretty late in the sentence, since I used it early on in my topic sentence. And I decided to say advertisers have many strategies they can use, because Mrs. Messner gave you a list that was full of strategies. So I thought, and obviously these are not, my three that I picked are not the only ones that you can see in this ad. So I decided to mention that they can use, there are so many that they have, and the company name, the Beats company, decided to use several of these in order to sell their headphones. So again, I actually didn't even use the product in the topic sentence, but I decided, it's not up here anywhere, but I decided to use it in my concluding sentence to make it a little more specific and to make it different from my topic sentence. All right, so your job would be to take a look at your own paragraph and really examine what you did and how it differs from this exemplar paragraph. So, for example, one of the things that you can do is you can take a look at your paragraph and you can ask yourself, did you use word choice? Then take a look. Did you quote? If you used word choice, did you quote the ad? And then, did you adequately explain why word choice is effective? If you didn't, then that's where you would have lost points. In grading these, Mrs. Messner and I saw that tons of you used testimonial. Did you specifically use the celebrity's name? And did you say why using a celebrity is influential? It's because people admire and look up to celebrities and they want the things they have. And then finally, also in grading these, I know that many of you said that this ad was a good example of the avant-garde technique. Well, in your commentary, did you explain what led you to that conclusion? Simple colors, the inference about what is being sold. So you really need to take a look at this paragraph, hopefully, and see where you used some of the same things that you can see here, or where you fell short, because this is what's going to help make you a better writer. And that's the end.